2 stages, 1 legendary story, Mr. Olympia and Arnold Classic. For decades, these competitions have shaped bodybuilding history, forged heroes, and fueled epic rivalries. Today, you will witness the ultimate showdown, a battle of giants who etched their names into history through sweat, iron, and glory. The birth of legends. It was 1965 when the first Mr. Olympia set the stage, crowning Larry Scott as the very first champion. But it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, the unstoppable Austrian oak, who transformed it into a legend. After capturing 7 Olympia titles, Arnold created something of his own, something that would forever change bodybuilding, the Arnold Classic. It was 1989, and a new era was about to begin. Arnold once said, "Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strength. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength." Mr. Olympia, stage of titans. The legend began with a vision. In 1965, Joe WEIDER, the godfather of modern bodybuilding, created the Mr. Olympia contest to crown the ultimate champion. Not just a strong man, but a living sculpture of discipline, power, and perfection. Joe WEIDER opened the story. Arnold rewrote it. On the Mr. Olympia stage, legends like Lee Haney, Ronnie Coleman, and Dorian Yates waged epic battles. Dorian Yates, known as the Shadow, wasn't loud. He didn't seek attention, he earned fear and respect. From 1992 to 1997, he dominated Mr. Olympia with a physique forged in pain and a mindset that redefined what it meant to be unstoppable. He trained in a dungeon, far from the spotlight, sculpting a body so dense, so detailed, it seemed carved from granite. Dorian didn't just win, he crushed the competition. He brought the era of mass, conditioning, and cold precision. And then, after 6 straight victories, he vanished. The Shadow stepped down, and in the silence he left behind, a new storm rose. Ronnie the King Coleman. Ronnie Coleman, the King, didn't just win, he conquered. He dominated the Mr. Olympia stage with unprecedented power, unmatched intensity, and a physique that redefined what was humanly possible. From 1998 to 2005, he claimed 8 consecutive titles, each one more impressive than the last, silencing doubts and crushing expectations, year after year. His reign wasn't just historic, it was a revolution, a time when muscle met myth, and the crowd witnessed a champion whose presence alone shook the foundations of the sport. Coleman didn't just raise the bar, he launched it into a new dimension. He set a standard of excellence so high that future generations could only chase it in awe. His legacy carved an unbreakable mark in Olympia history, a benchmark few could ever dream of reaching. But in the shadows, another warrior was rising, Jay Cutler, a relentless contender whose sole mission was to dethrone the champion. Their battles became the main event of each Olympia showdown. Year after year, the crowd witnessed a clash between brute dominance and calculated perseverance. For years, Jay Cutler stood in the shadow of a giant, always close, always chasing. But in 2006, the tides finally turned. After years of near victories and relentless grind, Cutler conquered the crown, ending Ronnie's legendary streak of 8 consecutive wins. It was more than a victory. It was the fall of a titan and the rise of a new king. The The throne was no longer untouchable. The crown now belonged to Jay Cutler, and a new chapter in bodybuilding history had begun. But one man wasn't just a champion. He became a symbol. Arnold Schwarzenegger won Mr. Olympia 7 times between 1970 and 1980. Then, at the height of his power, he stepped away from the stage, not to disappear, but to conquer a different world. Hollywood embraced him, and the world met the Terminator. But even as the cameras rolled, his heart never left the iron. And in 1989, his legacy took shape in a new arena, one that would carry his name and his vision. The Arnold Classic. Arnold Classic, the stage of charisma. The Arnold Classic has never just been a competition. It's a celebration of strength, charisma, and pure showmanship. On that stage, legends are not just made, they are sculpted under the spotlight with sweat, grace, and unshakable presence. Flex Wheeler, the man who brought elegance to war, moved like a warrior artist, each pose a living sculpture, each step a display of aesthetic dominance. Then came Greene, explosive, magnetic, unpredictable, a visionary who turned posing into performance, blending philosophy with physicality. Dexter Jackson, the blade, sharp and consistent, conquered time itself with precision, returning year after year with a physique that refused to fade. And CEDRIC McMillan, the gentleman giant, channeled the spirit of the golden era with lines that spoke of the past and a presence that owned the future. He didn't just strike poses, he told stories. Flex Wheeler wasn't just admired, he was feared. In an era where mass ruled and monsters roamed the stage, he stood tall without ever needing to overwhelm. With 4 Arnold Classic titles to his name, Wheeler became the gold standard of aesthetics, moving like a shadow and striking like lightning. Judges, fans, even rivals saw in him something untouchable, something that couldn't be replicated. His presence was a paradox, calm yet commanding, graceful yet dominant. But as his legend grew, so did the storm around him. From the shadows emerged 2 forces destined to challenge his throne, 2 names that would ignite some of the most legendary clashes of the 90s, Kevin Levrone and NASSER Sonbaty. Kevin Levrone, the Maryland muscle machine, was pure granite in motion. With deltoids like boulders and a chest carved from steel, he brought to the stage a raw, explosive power that intimidated even the best. But Levrone wasn't just power. He was a performer, a showman, a warrior who rose to the occasion when the lights were brightest. Known for his ability to transform his physique in record time, he was a living myth of muscle memory and discipline. Levrone claimed the Arnold Classic crown twice, in 1994 and 1996, each time stepping on stage like a force of nature, reminding the world that sheer determination could forge legends. His battles with Flex were titanic clashes, where grace met fury and neither man ever backed down. NASSER Sonbaty was a colossus, a mass monster wrapped in intellect and mystery. Towering above the competition, with slabs of muscle stacked on an almost surreal frame, he looked more like a warrior philosopher sculpted for battle than a traditional bodybuilder. Fluent in multiple languages and always donning his signature round glasses off stage, NASSER shattered stereotypes and redefined what a giant could be. Though he never won the Arnold Classic, his presence on that stage was nothing short of legendary. Against Wheeler and Levrone, NASSER was the immovable object, a titan who brought chaos and fear into the most elite lineups. And then came Dexter Jackson, the silent assassin, the embodiment of consistency and refinement. While others chased the storm, Dexter studied the rhythm. His physique was never the loudest, never the most massive, but always the most complete. Year after year, decade after decade, he returned to the stage like a blade sharp, precise, and deadly. With an unmatched 5 Arnold Classic victories earned in 2005, 2006, 2008, 2013, and 2015, Jackson carved his legacy across 2 decades of competition. He didn't just defeat legends, he outlasted them, proving that time itself can be mastered by those who move with patience, precision, and relentless discipline. In the history of the Arnold Classic, no name is carved deeper than his. And today, that legacy lives on. In 2025, Derek Lunsford ascended to the throne, claiming the Arnold Classic title with the physique of a titan and the mindset of a warrior. Former 212 Olympia champion, he shattered every limit by stepping into the open class and dominating, becoming the first man in history to win both divisions. His rise wasn't just a victory, it was a message. Size matters, but heart and discipline conquer all. Lunsford is known not only for his flawless conditioning and dense muscle mass, but for his humble presence and unwavering faith. In an era of noise, he brings silence and focus. As he stood on stage holding Arnold's trophy high, it wasn't just another win. It was the continuation of a legend. Olympia and Arnold Classic, the twin pillars of bodybuilding. Mr. Olympia is bodybuilding's holy grail, the ultimate dream for every athlete seeking immortality. It's the pinnacle, the summit where only the greatest stand. To win here is to carve your name into the Mount Olympus of muscle, alongside titans like Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates, and Lee Haney. It's not just about the body, it's about becoming a myth, a benchmark of human potential. Every rep, every sacrifice, every ounce of pain leads to this moment, the chance to become eternal. But the Arnold Classic carries its own legendary weight, a unique legacy born from the icon himself. The trophy bears not just a name, but a legacy. Arnold, the living symbol of global bodybuilding. To win the Arnold Classic is to be personally acknowledged by the man who reshaped the sport and redefined greatness. It's more than a title, it's an initiation into a sacred circle, where only the most complete athletes are honored. Here, charisma meets strength, and every champion becomes part of a story larger than life. Two stages, one shared passion. Arnold Classic and Mr. Olympia aren't just competitions. They're wars for glory, fame, and legend. It's blood, iron, and soul. The story continues every year, and new rivalries are already forming. The next legend could be out there, ready to carve their name into history. And you? Which stage will you conquer?